District, docket number 16-6577, block 251, lot 10, a Greek revival-style row house built in circa 1840, and the application is to alter the facade and excavate the areaway.
Good morning, Commissioners. Timothy Shaw, Preservation staff. 10 Remsen Street is located on the south side of Remsen Street between Pierpont Place and the Brooklyn Heights Promenade within the Brooklyn Heights Historic District. The application is for modifications of the front facade, including replacement of the existing door and door surround, excavation of the areaway, the replacement of ironwork at the basement windows, the installation of a gate at the areaway entrance, and the replacement of the former parlor floor window sills with a continuous sill with decorative ironwork and planters. Lisa Rosmar from CWB Architects will present the proposal in further detail, and please note that other work at the remainder of the facade, including repointing and stone repair, has been approved with staff level permit.
Thank you, Tim.
Good morning. I'm Lisa Rosemary from CWB Architects. I'm here to present to you this project for facade alterations at 10 Remsen Street. A little bit of background about the house. It was listed in the city directory in 1844 as a single-family home of Henry Stevens. Somewhere between 1900 and 1940, when the tax photo was taken on the right-hand side of the screen, the building underwent a series of alterations. At that time, we believe the roof line was altered, the top floor was built out, and mismatched brick that you can see at the top floor. The cornice was installed, the stoop was removed, enlarged sills were chopped off, and a wood door surround was installed at garden entry. In 2008, the present homeowners converted the home back into a single-family house with largely an interior renovation. In 2014, or this past year, they decided to undertake a massive facade renovation project. As Tim described to you, that there's currently repointing work, the parapet is being reconstructed, a new cornice is being installed, and the facebrick at the top floor is being replaced so that it matches the floors below.
Good.
And this presentation focuses on the final element of creating a more cohesive facade and plinth for the building to rest on. There were 3 requirements that the homeowners asked of us to provide to them in the design of the building plinth. The first being that the house, being located directly off the promenade, is very open and exposed. So they asked for a green zone to kind of separate them from the rest of the promenade. And the second requirement was to make an entry that clearly indicates that this is a single-family home and not a multi-family apartment building. And lastly, to create a design that deters people from entering the front areaway and using it as a restroom. Therefore, the proposed design incorporates the following elements. At the street, a gate at the front areaway, which can be opened by day, closed by night, lowering the remainder of the areaway and adding additional lighting in that space, refacing the plinth with cast brownstone panels, which are more defined than the present stucco top. The garden floor window bars are replaced with a design that's compatible to the overall composition of the front facade. Front entry is replaced with a cast brownstone door surround, and the most prevalent design move is a singular and large sill that unifies the parlor floor windows and is crowned by a decorative ceiling railing and planter box. When we arrived at this design through an examination of the design language used on Remsen Street throughout the Brooklyn Heights Historic District. As you can see, Remsen Street is a hodgepodge of architectural styles, and there's very little that is architecturally pure about this particular block of Remsen Street. What we did take away from our study is that there are 3 architectural characteristics that can be seen all along Remsen Street. The first being the use of the enlarged sill. The second, the use of decorative metalwork. And lastly, the homes on this street have some of the most stately and beautiful entrances in all of Brooklyn Heights. The statement piece from our proposed facade is rooted in a move that is seen on Remsen Street that incorporates unifying multiple parlor floor window openings on altered facades with a singular large enlarged sill. We saw this move as a way to bring a greater presence to the house that has lost its stoop. We also examined other areas in the district and their use of decorative metalwork to unify altered facades and the implementation of brownstone door surrounds. Coming back again to the proposed design of the areaway, the proposed design lowers the remainder of the areaway that is not presently lowered, which is this area only, and allows us to add an elevated planter box, so that will be a green space all across the front portion of the front areaway with trash storage below and additional lighting in the areaway. And of course, the most important gate that we can close at night to deter people from entering the space. We're also proposing the garden floor window grills, which are currently made of available catalog parts, are swapped out for a grill that's more in keeping with the entire proposed facade design. Excuse me. And on the face of the house, the stucco that is currently on the building will be removed and placed with a cast brownstone system. The deteriorating front door surround that's currently on the building is proposed to be replaced with the cast brownstone door surround that includes a 3/4 light glass wood door that features the same decorative steel panel that's used in the railing at the sill. The shortened sills are replaced by a singular enlarged sill, which unifies and defines the previously altered facade. And the sill is crowned by a decorative steel railing that features water jet cut steel panels, which were inspired by vermiculated masonry. This side shows a little bit more of the details that we are proposing. The upper left-hand corner, we see the tripartite design of metal railing that speaks to the punch openings behind it. We also have close-up views of the existing window grills that are made of catalog parts, and then our proposed design, which is a little bit more reserved, more in keeping with the overall design of the building. And then we have a close-up view of the proposed front door surround and view door. So this is our proposed design for modifications at 10 Remsen Street. Thank you for your time. Do you have any questions?
I want to ask you about the
It's actually only 18 inches further forward than the current two-story addition sits, but it is well within the 30-foot rear yard setback. And here you can see some of the details of that. We've got a steel structure for fire rating reasons at the stairs, which will then be clad with stone treads. And here you can see the CMU addition with the wood cladding. And again, some of the details of the rear railing in the garden, the fascia at the roof. And one thing that we wanted to make clear is what's actually happening in the rear garden in order to get some more light in here. So the upper drawing you see here is a sectional elevation. So here is 113, 111, 113, and 115 with the two-story next door. And what we're proposing to do is drop our property 4'6" from this current level. The two sister houses are at a much lower level. We'll actually be about a foot below their level in order to get some light down into the rear. But we felt from a geotechnical point of view, 4'6" is a reasonable amount without doing any major structural engineering.
Okay.
And this is just a cut and fill diagram which shows you this existing condition where we have this very steep stair going down into the cellar currently, the proposed rear addition, the proposed crawl space, so we won't actually have a full cellar. We're trying to not to excavate more than necessary, and then here's the remaining undisturbed fill.
Okay, why don't we take questions? Yes, Diana?
Yeah, does the extension, the full width extension, it does not come out beyond the neighbor's partial?
No, so you can see here that this is the outline of the addition at 113.
Yeah, but what about the one on the other side? On the western, there's one on the west and one on the east, correct?
Can you go back to I think the third slide,
See, you've got a diagram, but I don't see one that shows where it actually, the plot is. Yes, there's one, yeah, there it is.
here.
What I'm
So-
saying is, it doesn't extend beyond that one, is what I'm asking.
No, it comes 18 inches beyond what it is currently, so no.
Okay, that was thank you, I was trying to, sure.
Okay, other questions?
Yeah, enlarging the top floor windows on the rear facade?
Oh, we're dropping the sills, yes.
Okay, back to the,
Okay,
Do you want to see that elevation?
1.5. And the brownstone lintels to match?
Yeah.
You're actually using stone, or are you going to use cast stone?
Well, these lintels were all none of the
Gonna keep-
lintels are moving. So it's just the sill that will
It
replace.
says new brownstone lintels to match. New brownstone sills to match. Is that
Sorry,
stone
that's-
or is that cast stone?
We're not planning, we're not planning to remove the lintels at all, and if we can reuse the existing sills, we will.
right. Other questions? Wellington, you have a question? Okay. We'll take testimony. Judy Stanton?
Judy Stanton for the Brooklyn Heights Association. We support most elements of the current proposed scope of work, including reconstruction of the existing bulkhead, the rear full-width two-story addition at the basement and first floor, and replacement of all windows on front and rear facades. However, we do not support the applicant's request to increase the height of the brick wall at the rear facade. The proposed additional brickwork results in an oddly proportioned facade that is not historic in character. We suggest the applicant consider a railing setback above the existing cornice line. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any more speakers? Okay. Can you point out what that comment was relating to?
Yes, and I can show you the detail as well. So right here, this is actually a wood fascia that we're mounting onto the brick. We're extending up the brick parapet. And then can you go back to the historic photographs of the block itself? So we felt here that the two sister houses have added quite a prominent, actually, cornice at the rear, and so we felt that actually it was in keeping to bring that, rather than to put a railing, because we don't find the use of a railing anywhere on this block at that level.
So is there a picture, is there something showing the three together with
Yeah, if you go back to the sectional rear elevation. So here we have, this is 115, which has quite a, here, let me show you first. They have quite a significant cornice. Added here is 113, and this is ours here. So we felt that that was perfect.
But these are three sister houses, meaning that they were built at the same?
They were originally built at the same time, and then these two had an extra story added later.
Because really, I think the question was just the distance, just your building in proportion to the distance that you created between the top of the window sill and the roof. I mean, on the other two buildings, it's a much shorter space between the,
Certainly because there's height limitations.
so the proportions on.
But there's no use of a railing anywhere, so we didn't feel that that was.
Okay. Any other questions? Okay, thanks. We can close the hearing. I think all the changes seem appropriate to me. Any concerns? And I think the applicant responded to the issue that was raised by Brooklyn Heights Association, and I don't have any issues.
Yeah, again, my neighborhood, so I went to check out the visibility, and yes, it's visible, but barely enlarging what's already there, and of no concern to me. I think the whole resolution of this kind of messy situation in the back is very elegantly done, both in plan and elevation on all levels, including that top level. So I could go along. I think it would be a mistake to put a rail up there. I think this is an adjustment, but it is a rear facade, and it's not particularly seen by anybody except the neighbors from the rear. And so I think the whole thing is a great solution.
All right, other comments?
I agree with Fred. I think it's elegantly done. The only thing that I have a problem with is the restaurant door kick plates on the front doors. I'd love to see those disappear.
Small thing to ask. Right. Okay. Are there any concerns? Okay. So why don't we move to decision? Chris, can you read that?
Sure. To the matter of Certificate of Appropriateness, 111 Columbia Heights, Brooklyn Heights Historic District. Application is to repaint windows, alter the areaway, construct a rear yard addition and a rooftop bulkhead, and excavate at the rear yard. Noting that the building style, scale, materials, and details are among the features that contribute to the special architectural and historic character of the Brooklyn Heights Historic District, I recommend approval, finding that the dark paint color proposed for the front facade windows, while not a typical historic paint color for Greek Revival style houses, will match the window color found at the other two buildings in the row and will therefore not detract from the significant architectural features and historic character of the building or row, that the front areaway is below grade and therefore the proposed reconfiguration of the retaining wall will not be perceptible from the street and will not substantially alter the existing planted area, that the proposed garbage enclosure is small and simply designed and will harmonize with the existing historic areaway ironwork, that the proposed work will not involve the removal or demolition of any significant architectural features of the building, that the proposed addition will project into the rear yard less than the existing one-story rear yard extension, that the proposed one-story and basement addition will be of a smaller massing volume and height than an existing extension at the adjacent building to the south, that the design of the proposed addition is evocative of the traditional wood T-porch extensions found on row houses within this historic district, that the simple design and materials palette of wood, clapboard, and bluestone will harmonize with the historic materials of the building and surrounding buildings, that the addition will be only minimally visible through a narrow side yard on Willow Street, that the proposed rooftop stair bulkhead will be of a similar massing volume and height as the existing rooftop stair bulkhead and will be seen in context with existing utilitarian rooftop features such as chimneys, that the masonry sidewall of the proposed stair bulkhead will read as a continuation of the building's masonry party wall, and that this utilitarian rooftop feature will not detract from the historic character of the building or streetscape, that the existing rear yards at this block do not share a consistent grade level, and that therefore the proposed excavation of the rear yard will not diminish this relationship, that the proposed brick-clad garden wall will be in keeping with the materials and form of other garden walls found within this historic district, and that the work will not detract from the special architectural and historic character of the building and the Brooklyn Heights Historic District.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? This application is approved.